On the table placed outside my tent, you're seeing this weapon called a landmine. The correct way to place a landmine is to ensure only a small part of it remains above the ground, with the rest buried inside. After perfect placement, I'll first remove the safety pin, and to complete the landmine setup, meaning to hide it from the enemy's eyes, I'll add some flowers and leaves. As soon as the enemy approaches my position, they'll unknowingly step on the landmine while moving forward. The moment they step on it, the landmine will rise into the air and cause a dangerous blast. Now, the question is, what kind of magic does a landmine have that makes it rise into the air and explode as soon as someone steps on it? Apart from death, you've also seen in movies that if the hero accidentally steps on a landmine, it doesn't explode until they lift their foot. To be honest, let me explain how a landmine actually works using 3D animation. How do landmines work? This entire weapon is called a landmine. It is made of two parts. The upper part is called the fuse, and the lower part is called the case. The whole mechanism revolves around this striker. This striker is currently unable to move downward because of two bosses, and these bosses cannot come out because of the safety pin. If this striker becomes free, the landmine's working mechanism will start. In short, we need to understand how the striker becomes free when the enemy steps on the landmine. A little while ago, when the enemy stepped on my landmine, they specifically stepped on these three parts called prongs, which remain above the ground. These prongs are connected to this brown-colored part, and the brown-colored part is connected to the striker housing. When the enemy steps on the prongs, the striker housing moves downward, breaking the contact between the bosses and the safety pin, allowing the bosses to come out. As soon as the bosses come out, the striker becomes free. Due to gravitational force and the force of the striker spring, which you're seeing, the striker forcefully hits the percussion cap. Upon hitting, it creates a spark that travels through the base pipe and reaches the primer charge, igniting it. Before moving forward, understand that the lower section of the landmine, called the case, has two main parts. One is the canister, and the other is the outer shell. The fire that reached the primer charge moves forward to the canister where the first charge is placed. As soon as the fire reaches the proper charge, high-pressure gases are produced, which push all parts of the landmine 5 feet into the air through the powder channel. The most important thing to note is that the journey from leaving the ground to rising 5 feet in the air is completed by the landmine, and all the blasting mechanisms are completed in just 3 seconds. Let's understand how. As soon as the landmine leaves the ground slightly, the fire ignites the 3 detonators. These detonators are connected to the detonator wells, which are already filled with detonators. As the fire ignites the detonators while rising, the 3 detonator wells also explode. The explosion of the detonator wells ignites the TNT, the main explosive inside, causing a dangerous blast that can injure all enemies within a 200-meter area, and it's impossible for any enemy within a 50-meter area to survive. Note that the enemy's life is not only taken by the blast, but also by the balls filled in the canister. When the TNT explodes, these balls damage the human body at the speed of a bullet fired from a gun, leaving it in the condition shown on the screen. One major problem with using landmines as a weapon is that it's not necessary for the person stepping on the landmine to be an enemy. In such cases, there's another method of landmine installation, which is not removing the safety pin during installation and using another pin instead of the bosses to hold the striker. Note that this second pin and the safety pin are connected to each other, and this safety pin is attached to a wire fixed to the ground. As soon as the enemy approaches my position, they'll unknowingly step on this wire, causing both pins to be removed. The striker will become free, hit the percussion cap, and the process will continue as it did in the previous position. Anyway, you must have understood one thing. The idea shown in movies that if you step on a landmine and don't lift your foot, it won't explode is a contradiction. The mechanism you've understood is the world's most dangerous and terrifying mine, which falls under the category of anti-personnel mines. You'll be shocked to know that there are over 350 types of landmines, and currently more than 11 million landmines are already placed in the ground worldwide, meaning they are active.